Shabbos, everyone. This week's Parsha is that of Sh'lach. At the end of Parshas Sh'lach, towards the end, we have what is the third paragraph of the Shema, in which we have the mitzvah of the tzitzis. It says, V'yasu lahem tzitzis, speak to the children of Israel, and they should make for themselves tzitzis. What are the tzitzis? We know the tzitzis are the fringes, the strings that hang down from a four-cornered garment. And this should be al kanfei v'gdeim l'deiraisam. It should be on the corners of your garment for generations. Next pasuk says, "V'chayu lachem letzitzis," and it shall be for you for tzitzis. Risa ma'isa, you shall see it uzachartem. You shall remember as kol mitzvahs Hashem, all the mitzvahs of Hashem. V'asisa ma'isa, and you should perform them. Then, next pasuk says, "L'man tizkaru," in order that you should remember, "V'asisim is called mitzvah. You will do all of my mitzvahs." And the last pasuk is, "Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am the Hashem your Lord, who took you out of the land of Egypt. V'yos lechem le'elokim, to be for you a God. Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God." So, a couple of questions. First of all, it says you should make tzitzis. And then the pasuk says, "And they shall be for you for tzitzis." This doesn't have any meaning. What does it mean? It should be, tzitzis should be tzitzis. It's hard to understand. In addition, it says that you shall see it and remember all the mitzvahs of Hashem. How do we remember the mitzvahs of Hashem? By looking and seeing the tzitzis. Maybe we'll say, well, it's a mitzvah and it reminds us that we have mitzvahs. So then why doesn't it say the same thing by a mezuzah? Why doesn't it say, "And you shall see the mezuzah and you shall remember all of the mitzvahs"? Remember all of the mitzvahs and everything. Why does it only mention it in regard to tzitzis? Rashi tells us, as the Gemara says, that the word tzitzis equals the number 600. And there are 8 strings that hang down plus 5 knots. 608 and 5 equals 613. And this way, we remember the 613 mitzvahs. This is also very difficult. We look at the tzitzis and we're doing math in our minds. The pasuk says, look at the tzitzis, you'll remember all the mitzvahs of Hashem. We have to start calculating. In addition, it says, you will look at the tzitzis and you will remember all the mitzvahs of Hashem. Later on, it says, and in order that you should remember and do all of my mitzvahs. Mantizkru v'asisim is called mitzvah sai. It doesn't say mitzvah Hashem, the mitzvahs of Hashem. It says you will do my mitzvahs. Why is there a change? And the last question we want to pose is that the very last verse, Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God, who took you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God. Why does it repeat itself? It starts Ani Hashem Elokeichem, and then it ends Ani Hashem Elokeichem in one verse. What is this coming to emphasize? The Orach Chaim HaKadosh says that tzitzis is like a uniform. When a person has a uniform, it identifies who they are, what they do, what their mission is. If we see a soldier, we can identify this person is in the Navy, this person's in the Air Force, this person is in the Army, the Marines. We see a person dressed, we can say that person is in the medical profession. A person's outfit, their uniform, identifies who they are, what their mission is. The tzitzis is the uniform of a Jew. It identifies what our mission is. What is that mission? That mission is that we must remember that we are the servants of our Creator who took us out of the land of Egypt. We look at the tzitzis, this is my uniform. And my uniform tells me that this is a commandment from my Creator. And my Creator has given me the responsibility and the privilege to serve Him with not just this mitzvah, all mitzvahs. This is something that we wear. This is something that we carry with us. Yes, it's true. We could look at a mezuzah and say, oh, this reminds us of our responsibility and that we have mitzvahs from Hashem. No question. But this is something that we wear. It's on our body. It's with us as we go. We sit, we stand, we lie down, whatever we do, the tzitzis is with us. This is how the tzitzis is going to remind us to do all the mitzvahs, in addition to the calculation that Rashi presents. And this is the meaning the Orach Chaim says, that make for yourself tzitzis. And these tzitzis, these fringes, will be tzitzis for you, meaning it will be your uniform. That is the meaning. These fringes that you have will be your uniform and help us identify who we are and what our mission is. And what is that mission? The mission is to remember, Uzachartem is called mitzvahs Hashem, all the mitzvahs of God. This is my uniform. This is what it says. This is identifying me. Why does it say here the mitzvahs of Hashem, and later on it says, my mitzvahs, you'll perform my mitzvahs? Rabbeinu Yerucham explains, when the verse says, Ani Hashem Elokeichem asher hitzeichi eschem me'eretz Mitzrayim, I am the Lord your God who took you out of Egypt. I took you out from the slavery. Look what I did for you. And that unto itself, this remarkable kindness, it renders us as being in debt unto God. You saved me. You saved me. You saved my life. You saved my future. You saved my entire being and existence. I am indebted, and I am therefore your servant, and I will serve you as a servant. Hashem says, yes, that is true. There is service to God that is done because we are in awe and we accept upon ourselves the responsibility, the yoke, and the privilege of serving our Creator. But there's something even greater, and that is what the verse concludes, that indeed, if we recognize that Hashem has taken us out from Egypt and we are His servants to serve Him because of His great kindness and the debt we have, Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I will be the Lord your God, meaning our relationship will be one in which you will serve me, not out of awe, not out of debt, but out of love. You will want to serve because you will recognize, we will recognize the benevolence, the boundless kindness that Hashem has and performs for each and every one of us. These are the two elements that are being mentioned here. Make for yourself tzitzis, make the fringes, and let them become your uniform, that we see them and we remember the mitzvahs of Hashem, mitzvahs of Hashem, mitzvahs of the King that we have to serve. We are His servants out of awe, debt, and we'll perform them. And this, by doing that, it will enable us to remember and perform my mitzvahs, Hashem says. It's almost like Hashem is expressing like with a personal relationship. This is mine, this is yours. No longer the mitzvahs of Hashem, but my mitzvahs. Meaning, when we accept upon ourselves, when we realize, what is this mitzvah? What is this mitzvah? What is it? Why, another question, why is this particular portion, the third paragraph of the Shema? The Shema is all about Hashem exists. He is the one true God, Hashem Echad. We should love Him. We should serve Him with all our hearts, with all our means, with all our lives and everything. And the next paragraph, Vohayim Shemoya, that God will reward us for fulfilling His mitzvahs. If we don't fulfill His mitzvahs, there can be consequences. And then we come to something about the tzitzis. What's the tzitzis doing? The answer is because the tzitzis is also talking about our service to God, our accepting our responsibility. And it's telling us that if indeed we reflect and recognize that God is the only one true creator, the only reality that exists, and it's our privilege to serve him. How? We might not understand, but I will serve by performing the mitzvahs of this remarkable, incredible creator and master. Then when we do this, and we do it sincerely, eventually it will blossom and turn into an expression of love, in which we won't just get up because a Jew gets up and davens. We'll look forward to it. We'll yearn for the moment that I can stand in the presence of Hashem. We will anxiously anticipate the opportunity to put on talis and tefillin and do whatever mitzvahs and give tzedakah and charity and light Shabbos candles, Yom Tov candles. This is what it's telling us. The steps are, first we recognize that indeed we have a uniform, we're in the service, and we'll follow the orders. And as we do so, we realize that our commanding officer, our creator, is so perfect and so loving that the love flows forth from our hearts, that we will recognize that these are the mitzvahs that Hashem has given us to bring us and attach ourselves unto him. This is why the Parsha of Shema is connected to the mitzvah of tzitzis. One might ask a question, what about women? Women don't have the mitzvah of tzitzis. Women are discouraged from wearing tzitzis. So let us be aware that the mitzvah of tzitzis is given to Klal Yisrael after the sin of the spies. The men were frightened, and the men became very anxious, and they are the ones who refrained from going into the land of Israel. As a result, they became weaker in their faith, and they need to have this uniform to remind them. The women, as we see from the daughters of Tzolafchad, they remained true and loyal. They desired the land of Israel. They did not want to listen to the Meraglim. They wanted to follow Moshe Rabbeinu and Kalev and Yeshua and go into the land of Israel. And the women, therefore, the tzitzis is totally unnecessary. Not only is it unnecessary, but for a woman to wear the tzitzis, it's as if she's saying, look, I need this reminder too, because my faith was shaken also. And that's a degradation to the sanctity of the Jewish woman. We are privileged to have the mitzvahs and to put aside our personal concerns and to just rejoice in our ability to serve Hashem. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay Jewish. Have a wonderful Shabbos.